This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
In Parshas Vayera, the Torah relates that two malachim came to the house of Lot to take shelter in his home, and suddenly a mob starts banging on the door of Lot's home, saying, "Give us your guests, we're going to take them, we're going to abuse them." And Lot says, "No, don't touch my guests." And in their place, Lot offers his two daughters. He says, I'll give you my two daughters. Do with them as you please. But to these people, don't do anything. Because this is why they came under the shelter of my beam. Amazingly, the Chofetz Chaim points out that when Lot is trying to persuade the people of a city not to harm his guests, he doesn't say, don't harm them because it's degenerate, it's wrong, it's lewd behavior. No, the argument that Lot uses is, I must protect them. I am morally obligated to protect them because they have come under the shelter of my beam. And if somebody comes to take refuge under your protection, if somebody says to you, I trust in you, I have faith in you, you must protect me, then the protector is now morally obligated to protect them. Lot, says the Chofetz Chaim, is articulating clearly the process and the mechanism of bitachon, where if one says, Ribbon Shalom, well, I deserve what I deserve. I may not be worthy of your protection, but I come, I cry out to you, and I seek the protection of your shelter. Now, if Lot felt the moral obligation to come through to those who are staying in his home, all the more so if we come to Ribbon Shalom, we say, Ribbon Shalom, protect me, save me, shelter me. The Ribbon Shalom is now obligated to come through and to honor this trust that we have in him. This is an incredible insight into the mechanism of bitachon, but this offers a revolutionary understanding of the mitzvah of Sukkah, where we can now say to Ribbon Shalom, whatever our gezerah was on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, we don't know what the outcome is. We don't know whether we deserve a year of success and health and happiness. But come what may, we now come under your protection, the Sukkah, Tzila de Mehemenusa, the shelter of your wings. And we say, Ribbon Shalom, we don't know what we deserve, but Ein lanu al mi lahishayin ela alecha. We have no one to rely on but you. If even Lot understood the obligation he had to come through to those who had faith in him, then all the more so we can say to Ribbon Shalom, we don't know what the outcome of Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur was. We don't know which side of the Nasana Toikef we fell out on. But we know one thing. We come to take shelter under your protection. Rav Nosson Wachtvogel, the Lakewood Mashgiach, said this in fact is the mechanism of the Sukkah. He cites the Gemara in Bava Metzia that says that Rabbi, in the last 13 years of his life, suffered great Yisurim because of the following event. There was a calf that was taken to be slaughtered. And the calf, as it was about to be slaughtered, came running to Rabbi, burying its face under his cloak. Rabbi said, "Go, Zil, lakachna itzarta, you were created to be slaughtered." Because of this, because Rabbi did not show mercy to the calf, he was punished with Yisurim. Asks Rav Wachtvogel, what did Rabbi do wrong? He told the behema to go l'shchita. The Gemara Bracha says on Yud Zayin, soif behemas l'shchita. That's what animals were created for, to be shechted. Why would Rabbi be punished for such a thing? Isn't it a mitzvah to shech the behema? Says Rav Wachtvogel the same yesod, that yes, in fact, it's a mitzvah to shech the behema. And one is permitted to shech the behema, and behema was created to be shechted. But when a behema comes to seek refuge under your protection and cries out to you and says, please, I can trust no one but you, even though he doesn't deserve it, you're morally obligated to protect him. Says Rav Wachtvogel, this is the process of bitachon, where even if someone is not roi, even if someone is not worthy, they have the ability to turn to the Ribbon Shalom and say, we take refuge in you, come through for us. This, says Rav Wachtvogel, is a new dimension in the mitzvah of Sukkah. But let us add an amazing insight, a great concept. And that is, if you looked in the Sefer of Chaim Knievsky, Time of the Kra, on Chumash, Parshas Vayera, he learns, based on the Gemara in Rosh Hashanah and Tosfos, that the day the Malachim came to Avram Avinu, it wasn't Pesach like Rashi brings, it was Sukkos. In fact, V'hishanu tachas ha'etz, Reb Chaim learns it was an eitz tlusha and it was a kosher sukkah. But in that case, that when the Malachim came to Abraham, when the Malachim came to Lot, it was also Sukkos. And then when Lot was articulating the principle of bitachon, ki al kein bo b'tzel kairasi, Lot was not only articulating the method and the mechanism of bitachon, Lot was articulating the concept of a sukkah. That what is a sukkah? You cannot harm these people. Not only they have come under my protection, ki al kein bo b'tzel kairasi, they've come under my sukkah. The principle of sukkah is that we say to Ribbon Shalom, Ribbon Shalom, we don't know what our outcome is on the Yom Noram, but now we seek the refuge of your protection. And just like a calf had the right to seek the refuge of Rabbi, we, Ribbon Shalom, Anu karmecha ve'ata noitrenu, Anu tzainecha ve'ata royenu. You are our shepherd. You have to care for us. You have to protect us. You're morally obligated to protect us. This is the mechanism of bitachon, the mechanism of the sukkah, which light so clearly articulates, ki al kein ba'u b'tzeil kairasi. This is the reason you came under my sukkah. May we be zoicha to have the protection and the shade of the Melech Malchei Hamlachim under the Kanfei Hashchina, and may this be a zechus for us to be zoicha to a chasima tova, to a piska tova, and to a shana tova masuka, lanu l'chol Yisrael. Amen.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.